Hey, good morning. Today is Thursday, November 13th. It is about 6 a.m. Figure I'd get into the pre-market prep here. Getting over a head cold with the cold front and everything coming in around where I live, and so just kind of getting back into things. So first thing I wanted to check was how was sentiment on the AI front, and kind of looking across, things are pretty neutral, neutral or not neutral, but mixed because they're not necessarily agreeing. So that's kind of interesting. So for me, I take that with a grain of salt and just kind of seeing what, um, not having too much of a directional bias from the sentiment. But it's good that we're mixed there. Was hearing also on the news that the government's been opened up, I guess as of yesterday or day before, um, but it might take anywhere from like a few weeks before things start rolling in. But then there's a question of all the October jobs data and everything else. Like we may not get it apparently, and so I guess the next report will just be what it is, and it'll be a surprise, and we won't see what the trend is going into that. So that'll be interesting going forward. I guess notable earnings to pay attention to. So Disney, I think, was just released, and maybe it was down, or maybe it will be released soon, but it's kind of trading lower from what I've seen. And then also Cisco is happening or did happen, and so those are the big ones. Um, so yeah, looking at the docket today, not too much to really pay attention to for, um, at least what I care about. I mean, a lot of Fed speakers, so that always could be something. Um, but I think we are should be okay there. Really quick before we look at the price action. So looking at how kind of options flow and volume flow panned out yesterday for, let's look at the cues really quick. So on the volume side, tried to go up green, a little bit mixed and in more heavy selling during the day, and then the price kind of, just sideways really. But it's interesting. You look at the net put premium that was just went up straight up all day, um, but pretty closely followed by call premium. So although I guess the puts did win out, it's pretty close. So that's something to kind of keep in mind as far as, levels for dark pools and gamma and all this fun stuff. We had a lot of uh, dark pole prints here, and now we're kind of like pushed out of this negative gamma zone where things could spike around in theory to more of the positive gamma zone where maybe it's going to be a drift in either direction. So that's kind of interesting. But I do like there was a lot of transactions on the dark poles at the levels that we're currently at, and so we'll really just have to see how we go there. On the spy, looks like put flow more strongly outpaced uh, the call flow, and it was cleaner on the downside for the volume. So that's kind of interesting for me. But similar story for the levels. Big dark pull prints moving out of this negative to this positive area where we're just going to kind of probably bounce around. So we'll see how that goes. And in gold, kind of complete opposite. Look at that. Everybody's bullish gold. It's amazing. Look at all those call option or call premium and in just strong volume. Um, so up, up, up we go. It's amazing. And similar story. I mean, we had good dark pulls printed here. We went up. And then now we're big dark pull print up there. And so for me, I'm wondering, so this was kind of that breakdown level. I have to check what this looks like on the futures area, but it's interesting. This really big dark pull print here. And so, are you taking profit on that way up, and then you're just kind of seeing, or what are you doing? I think this big positive gamma area could still be a magnet if we want to drift up there, but it's kind of interesting. We have some gaps to kind of run through, so we'll just see what that looks like on the price charts. But gold bullish, SPY cleanly bullish, NQ cleanly bearish, NQ bearish, but not so clean. So we'll see how things look there. So quick look at the indexes. So I guess even starting with the Dow leading us all time highs. Everybody's rotating back in. That is what is happening. Um, so there you go, and you can kind of see everybody's kind of rotating out of Russell, right? As that's kind of going down the most, looking like. And then we got SPY maybe in second place, near highs. And you got NQ probably in third place, near highs, but a little bit further. And so now, Russell and Qs are lagging, Dow is leading, followed by SPY. And so I think it's just like a rotation into all of these things. Um, and I think what it was it Palantir had really good new earnings a few weeks ago, and it kind of has been selling off since. And so I think there's probably been some other. I mean, we'll see how Cisco earnings was. I didn't really read it, but if it's positive and we're going down, that doesn't bode well for tech. But overall market, I mean, we've made new all-time highs again in the Dow. So now it's just a matter of does this pull back and does that go up, right? And so we'll be watching that. Nice little, nice, not maybe not little, but nice spike in VIX here, and it kind of cooled back off. So we'll see. Dollars, nice little pullback in treasury notes and in gold, as we were talking about. So yeah, so we've gotten to, I guess that alert had happened for me. That's amazing. So we'll see if we can eke higher. So this is kind of what I'm looking for the short now. And so I am really looking at this. This is exactly the level that I wanted. And so I'll be watching gold in GLD very closely today and this week to see if there is like a swing short here in gold. Just first I have to see what price looks like and how it behaves. I mean, it could come up and push up the highs. You never know, to be honest. But this is the level I was waiting for to see, okay, do we show weakness there or do we show strength? And I will be looking to play that more on a near term basis, not an intraday basis, but more of like a little swing short potentially on the options. But I have to see price support it. So that is something I'll be paying attention to. On intraday basis, I will go up. I will buy it long if it shows strength, or sell it, but not trying to swing it on the futures contract. Um, awesome. So I think if we look at what's happening in the megatech, Apple strong. See that imbalanced sell would have been a trap. I feel like we want to eke out highs. Microsoft holding on support here, so we'll see. Let's see what happens there. Amazon, we are up and just holding up, even though we're kind of selling off, and there's like this interesting. I don't know what this. If this was a pattern, I don't know what the hell that is, but definitely trying to hold that gap up. Google, I heard on Alexa that we made new 52-week highs, I think, yesterday, and now we kind of pulled back, so we'll see. Meta, go, 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 down, down, down. Interesting. Nvidia, kind of similar to Amazon, just trying to hold itself up, but it's strong. Tesla, I think everybody was expecting this to break out, and it still might, but it is definitely consolidating. And like you look at the cues here, how messy this looks, right? Um, yeah, it's just super messy price action right there. Just kind of gap down, sell off, crazy up, and now we're kind of holding up here. So gap and a gap and a gap, and so we'll just kind of see. We'll see if we hold this 618. So there you go. I mean, up is the way it looks like, but it's very sloppy. It feels like. So we'll see how that goes. And then we go Super Spy. So Broadcom's holding up. Berkshire is up there. JP Morgan Chase, man, leading new highs. LOY, new highs. So even on the SPY, even on you know the tickers in the SPY outside of the Qs, very good. Actually, I don't know if JP Morgan Chase is not in the Qs, but it's just these are also making all-time highs. The Visa is still just kind of hanging out where it's been. Ooh, Netflix coming back to life. I guess we're not getting the 1,000. I still think we will. So we will see. Costco is just hanging out at support. And SPY, messy price action, like the Qs a little bit. Although, if you look at, it looks a bit cleaner on the upside, on that upside push. I guess let me look at our comparing of the two. Yeah, so when you look at how the Qs have been trading, gap down, gap, and then a little hammer thing, and then we gap up, but then didn't make a higher high the next day. And then here we did make a higher high, but then we closed red. Here gapped up, strong green close. Next day higher high, higher low, strong green close. Next day higher high, higher low. Sure, it's like a negative kind of close, but it's like still in the upper part of the candle, so it's much more cleanly bullish on the price action on the daily. NQ is a little bit sloppy, so that's kind of interesting. So as I look at this, if anybody's going to close this gap first, it's going to be the Qs, just based on the price action. So we'll just kind of see how we go there. And on the GLD, yeah, I'll be watching if we can break above. If we can break above this 389, which we are at this pre-market, it looks like we might. Maybe we continue going and we close this gap to this 394, which would more or less coincide somewhere in here, I guess. So this 4,300, I'm guesstimating. So we'll see. I think maybe there is a push up to that, and then we fall over, unless we can't really clear this or hold above this 4239 level with conviction. So let's see. I will be watching that. Awesome. Well, I think that's it for me. I guess good luck out there. Well, I guess I'll talk about my trading plan here really quick. So if we look at the ES, not really too interested, I think. Let me see. Not too interested in the ES. I mean, maybe for the long, I suppose. But if I had to pick, gold seems to be more interesting for me, just given where it is. Like, are we going to push with strength or are we going to fall over? So I'll be watching that. And also NQ is a little bit more interesting if we do want to sell off. Might be something for me to watch. But also, like, there is this interesting support at this 2500, like a pretty good psych level and all that. So we'll be watching that. I mean, I suppose there's similar on the ES, but not really. So I think I'll be watching the Qs and gold first, and we'll just see what kind of pans out. Yeah, so there you go. I will be kind of looking at this a bit more going into the actual open. It's still early, so we'll just have to see how pre-market develops and if this low holds and all that stuff. So cool. Well, that's it for me. Good luck and don't get caught. Thank you.